Hey guys, welcome back to the studio where today we're going to be doing a Q&A session. Right guys, a few months back I asked my members on my Discord server to send in some questions and you guys did not disappoint. Now before we start the Q&A session, those of you who may want to join the Discord and are not members, I will leave a link in the description if I remember, because you know, this old brain of mine does forget things sometimes, but if I remember, there will be a link in there and you can join us and enjoy all the fun things we do on there. Now, on to the questions. We'll open the iPad of magic questions, the magical iPad of everything. It's just an iPad. Okay, so our first question comes from Sandwich Darth, and they ask, are you ever going to do a gaming video? Well, yes, I am actually. I've been thinking about doing them for a while, but I've discovered that my Xbox is capable of recording things, but at the moment it can only do 2-minute clips and you have to use a memory stick to make it record for an hour. So I think I do know what I'm going to do there because it knows what's it. But yes, if I do them, they will appear on the TK Studios channel, not this one, but if I do, I'll obviously let you know. Right, now our next question comes from Cookie Cat, and they ask, what is your favourite food, song, colour and drink? So 4 questions in one there. So basically we'll start with the food. That's easy, that's a bacon sandwich. Very tasty, wakes me up in the morning when I'm dead. You know, it's very useful, a bacon sandwich. It just gives you that little bit of what's it in the morning. Now my favourite song would have to be Newborn by a band called Muse, because there's a nice piano bit in it which goes something like this. Which is the start bit, and then this guitar bit comes in which goes something like this. It carries on from there, but yes, that's my favourite song because that's the reason why, because of Muse, why I bought this electric guitar, and also why I bought this bass guitar and drums as well, because Muse are kind of a big influence on me actually. I really love those guys, but yeah, that's pretty cool. Right then, so on to the next question. Next question comes from Terabytes, and he asks, what do you think of the letter H? Well, Terra, I quite like the letter H. It's humorous and also horrendous, a bit like my dad jokes. But also the reason the letter H is a favourite letter of mine is where my mum and dad are originally from is a place called Ilkeston, and they don't know what the letter H is. They have 25 letters in their alphabet, not 26. So let's say, for instance, we would use the word home. No, not in Ilkeston, that's I'm going on. And also we don't say, how are you? They say, are you right? That's basically the Ilkeston accent. I could do a whole show on that, but we're not going to. So anyway, we shall move on to the next question, which is by Zantis. And the question is, are you Mumbo Jumbo? Well, I may sound like Mumbo, and I do play Minecraft, but I can assure you me and him are 2 different people. So that's interesting. But some people also ask me, do I sound like Winnie the Pooh? Which, yes, I might do. I don't know if the original guy who did it is British, but I'm not the voice actor of Winnie the Pooh or Scooby-Doo. I know I can do him, but, you know, it's just a gift I've got. Anyway, moving on to the next question, and this is Jetstar from Jetstar Bredos, and of course that's either Glutch or Bread, and she asks, have you listened to The Clash, and if yes, what's your favourite song by them? Well, my favourite song by The Clash, because I have heard of them, would definitely be London's Calling. It's probably one of my favourite songs from that era, and it's yeah, pretty cool. So that's that one. Now, next question is from Yasmin, and she asks, what is your most favourite video you have made and why? Well, my favourite video has to be the Christmas one. I had so much fun doing that. Who knew that Jingle Bells could be made into such an awesome tune? But yeah, that's my favourite one. I really enjoyed doing that one. Now, the next question is, some great questions here, guys. Keep them... Oh, no, that's me. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, the next one is from Ulysses, and he asks, are you the most epic dude? Well, that's for you guys to decide. I couldn't possibly comment. Next question is by Four Evenings, or Iona, as we call her. Remember, she isn't just the law, she is the four. Okay, and she asks, what do you prefer as a pet, cats or dragons? Well, I quite like cats, but I think no one's going to not want to pet at a dragon. That would be pretty cool, actually. So that's that would be definitely a dragon. Okay, now, our next question comes from... I've got to go down a little bit because we obviously have a few things. Frankie. Frankie asks, cat plus cat equals cats. Well, I guess that does make sense because 2 cats would be plus cats because 2 of them would be cats. Yes, very interesting. Anyway, moving on. I've just got to scroll through here because I had some extra last minute questions. And now this next question is from Tuza, but I know that's Antis again, but that's the name on here. And he wants to know, so what do you use for sounds like drums and all that? And for editing videos, or just what you use like making music and programs? So basically, what do you want to use for your drums? How do you edit videos? And what programs do you use? Well, for the music, I use a program called Reason. That's what I use for the music making. I do use another computer called Cubase occasionally, but I'm not using that one so much now. To edit the videos, it's Movie Maker because there's a Mac in the other room, and that's my uncle's, which is very useful to use. That's how I edit the videos. And yeah, that's pretty much it. But I'm going to make a video on editing the videos and all that because I think we ought to do one, really. If you agree, message in the comments. Now, what's the next one? Oh yes, wanted to ask about our plugs in the UK. Now I'll throw up a picture. Now we in the UK have got plugs like this, and of course in the US you've got plugs like that. Well, what I'm going to do, I'm going to unhook this camera. This is very unprofessional, but hang on, I've got all my wires in here. Okay, we're going to unhook this and we're going to go over to these sockets. There we are. That's a UK socket, and as you can see, those red things are what we call switches. Yes, we can turn things on and off without taking plugs out. Ooh, yes, very, very interesting. So that's what the plugs in the UK look like. Very interesting indeed. Now our next question comes from Terabytes again, and he simply asks, what do you think of this photo? Well, it's an interesting photo. It looks very, very interesting. I've got it on here, and yes, it's yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, that's the only thing I can say to that. Okay, and now we'll just move on swiftly because we had some last minute questions. I'll just scan these over. Okay, and we have last minute questions on here. Let's see, shall we? That's the update. Right. Again, Xantes or Tuza, whichever the name we use, is what microphone do you use? Well, the microphones I'm using at the moment is the one that I'm using right now is on this camera. And as you can hear, it's pretty good. But when I'm doing any singing, which I've started doing a little bit more of, I use this microphone here, which is just a standard, you know, thingy mic and all that. In fact, I'm going to show you something about this mic stand, because this mic stand is what we call my Freddie stand, because I can do that. Take it out and then I can pretend to be Freddie Mercury. Yeah, it's yeah. Moving on. So moving on, the next question is from Breadtaking, which is, what is the origin of Sir TK? Well, the origin of Sir TK is probably Naruto's fault, because I'm so old and sound like a lord from the Crusades. That's kind of where it came from. So that's that question there. And now our final question comes from Ulysses, because I kind of skipped past one by accident. Anyway, we'll answer that one now. Is Ulysses, and he asks, what is your least favourite colour? Well, after some careful consideration and some good hard thinking, it would have to be grey. I think we know why. Yes, that'll be why. Anyway, guys, that's the end of the Q&A session. Hope you all enjoyed that. Something a little bit different for you, but obviously we'll get back to some music, and hopefully we'll have a few more things out for you. So talk to you soon, my friends. TK out. Peace.